Hello, Jimmy.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to a little video interview here at the Four Continents Championships. Congratulations again for winning the bronze medal, your very first medal at a not only ISU championship but major event, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, how do you feel about this achievement?
The feeling's still unreal, you know. But yeah, like I said yesterday, it wasn't really about the medal. I wanted to come here just to put out two performances that I was going to be proud of, and you know, I did my job, and that's how the cards were dealt, and I can't be more grateful.
And you came in as a substitute.
Yes, I did.
And then you ended up the top US man.
It is a good feeling, yeah.
I imagine. You said, you mentioned it, that you overcame the curse.
Yeah.
Because we've seen you before sitting in the top three at like Grand Prix events, and then it didn't happen for you in the free.
Yeah.
What was the difference this time?
Well, I had a conversation with my sports psychologist. I had a conversation with myself, kind of about where my headspace was going to be at. Because so after the short program, don't get me wrong, I was happy with the skate, but I wasn't expecting to be in the top three, let alone top two. But like every single score that came up, I was like, my heart sank a little bit, and sank because it was like the pressure's on, and based on previous experiences, I wasn't able to handle that pressure. But especially, you know, since it happened 2 weeks ago at U.S. Nationals, and I had to have that conversation with myself of, okay, like, what are your expectations? What are you doing this for? You know, why do you do this? And it was a couple day process, because you know, what was it, Thursday night? I wanted to give myself a chance to be happy, right? And then Friday for practice and Saturday for warm up, I had to really start kind of putting myself down that path. And a big thing that my sports psychologist told me was, because I do love to cook, she said, don't overcook. You know, sometimes, Tatjana, I don't know if you cook as well, but when you try to make something, like, you know how to make something, and then you try to make something more fancier and add this and add that and add the other thing, and it ends up being not good, right? And you're like, you have to add more stuff into it to balance everything out. It's just more work. She's like, don't do that, right? Do what I know how to do it the best that you can, and it should work out. And that put me in a really good logical mindset, right? Like a very logical path. And then the second part was, how would, you know, little Jimmy from 20 years ago, how would he view you right now? Because it's like, I could be sure that he's gonna think this is pretty damn cool. So that was more of an emotional part of it, where it was like, no matter what happened, little Jimmy would be proud. So that took a lot of weight off my shoulders, and it was a weight that I had a lot of at Nationals. So I'm glad that I was able to be put down that path.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
How do you think that this experience will help you now moving forward?
Obviously, it's going to give me a lot more confidence in terms of being a competitor, right? Like, even though, like I said yesterday, everybody that I'm competing against, especially that top six, and then, you know, what, top 8, top 10 in the world. Many people have multiple quads, but it gives me the confidence to know that I could still be competitive, no way I'm gonna beat Malinin, no way. But I could still go out there and kind of instill some emotion into the crowd and bring a little bit something different to the table. And whether or not I land everything or not, I know that I could walk away from my performances knowing that I was able to do that. You know.
Yeah, and you have cool programs actually, really. The program is very unique, also unique music. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So, you know, I had a conversation with Nikolai probably 2 weeks before Nationals. I went to see him to, you know, fix up the programs a little bit. And, you know, the first thing he said to me was, Jimmy, you look very old. And he's like, it's not because, you know, of your age. It's just because when you're skating, like, there's no more emotion anymore. You lost what initially made people love you, right? It's like, where's the dancing? Where's the excitement? It's like the jumps are gonna get there. And Miss Olga told me this. My parents have told me this, and Nikolai told me that. I kind of lost a little bit of that passion for performing, and I had to really dig deep for that, especially in a program like this, because it's, despite popular belief, yes, it's my personality, but it's incredibly difficult to pull it off on the ice and pull it off well. So, like, it's emotionally draining, right? So I kind of had to pull it back and remember why I loved skating in the first place. And it wasn't just because I liked rotating. And I put that into that short program. And then same thing for the free skate, because we switched the programs back to Clair de Lune, which I did 2 years ago. I was able to put a lot of different emotions in there, and I was quite happy with how I felt about it.
Yeah, the Clair de Lune is also because it starts with this classical part and then it switches to something very modern. Is there what kind of story do you want to tell with this program?
Well, especially with the Clair de Lune, it was the feeling of the music and how I present it. I was really able to put the emotions of what happened 2 weeks ago to U.S. figure skating and to many families around the world, around the country. Like, I was able to instill those feelings into the program because I have really powerful emotional music. You know, it made me look up, and every single time I look up, I see them. And that kind of gave me the confidence to know that, you know, they were looking after me and they're giving me strength. So there was that. And I also, like, being a classical pianist, I do love Clair de Lune. And then when all that was said and done, you kind of have to have a release for that emotion. And that's what Volcano was, the last piece of music by Woodkid. That's where that came from. So that was a good release. And Adam Blake did a phenomenal job helping me put that together in one day. Yeah.
So this part was new to the...
No, we re-choreographed it. We cleaned it up. We added some cool things in there. We took out some things and made it a little bit too messy. But yeah, it took a day, and both of us were literally on the ice, butt soaking wet, trying to figure out what to do. But it was a great time.
Yeah, the result speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, you said that what happened 2 weeks ago that gave, and you are thinking of your friends, and you even brought the pictures.
Yes.
So
yes.
that was really touching too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, what you said it brought back now your passion for skating a little bit with from your programs, and what keeps you motivated? What keeps you going? Because you have a long career.
Yeah. So I look more of it as like I try to find more inspiration because like my belief is that inspiration lasts a lot longer than motivation. So I'm trying to find places that in life that inspire me to be a better performer, to be a better athlete. There are a lot of different things. Creatively, being able to work with Jeff Buttle this year, even though I didn't get to finish the season with his program, we did integrate what he gave me into this Clair de Lune. I credit him a lot for kind of getting me out of a creative hole. Don't get me wrong, like I love working with Nikolai, he's my guy, but it's always nice to expand your vocabulary, and Jeff Buttle was just the person to do that, so I credit him a lot. Miss Olga and Alexei, I've always been integral the past 4 years I've been with them, like an integral part of who I am as an athlete, but I do have to credit the Syed family from Sweden. They train with us over the summer. Right? Beautiful family. Right? I coach the kids during the summer a little bit, but the father is also a boxing coach, an amateur boxing coach, and he's like top, kind of like one of those Olympic level tier. And I don't even remember what the circumstances were that summer day. I was just sitting down, like minding my own business, and he comes up to me, wide-eyed, and he goes, "Jimmy, this summer, I'm gonna make you into an effing beast." Right? We've boxed before previous summers, but not like this summer. And when he gives you, like, he's a very gentle man, but he gave me this like very visceral look, and that was like, I didn't even know what was going on. I don't know where it came from. I'm like, okay. Like, if somebody is giving me that kind of respect and that kind of, I would say, intensity, passion, I'm like, I'm gonna give it back 150%. And that was inspiration for me to train my body to the next level. So that's what we did all summer, is we boxed almost 3-4 times. 3-4 times a day. 3-4 times a week. In the summer, in the evening summer heat, in the rain, didn't matter. Like we were sparring, we were doing a lot of things, and that really got me into shape, and that really inspired me to be in great physical condition and also mental, right? Focus. The big thing was focus. So I do credit him a lot for that, and I tell him that a lot. I told him that last night. He's a great guy. The family is great. Kids are very talented.
Cool.
Yeah.
So they're very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So something a completely different sport that helped you to progress.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you said in the press conference you can't wait for what's coming next.
Yeah.
So what are your plans and for next season?
There's a lot of things that I still need to work on. Watching the program back yesterday, there were a lot of things that I was very happy about, and there were a lot of things that I was not happy about. I'm not even talking about jumps, just a lot of things I was not happy about. And so that's, still back to the drawing board. Also, it was very inspiring to hear yesterday someone like Junhua Cha, who is a top tier level skater, somebody you could just watch skating. And even he was like, I need to go back and work on skating skills. I'm like, well, okay, if he needs to work on, I definitely need to work on that stuff. I remember that one year that he did that waltz. I forgot the name of the. I hate that music. I hate that music. But I remember, like, I was watching it. I think it was Skate Canada. I turned off the sound because I do not like that song. I listen to it too much, right? But I'm like, I could not take my eyes off of his skating. And then, so going back to your previous question, is hearing him, like, when you could skate that well without music and have people interested, that says a lot about a skater. And he does that, and he said that he needs to work on his skating skills. I have no excuse to not work on mine. So that's another inspiration. So that's a big goal of mine, is to be able to, I don't know, come just a little closer to that level. I don't know. The plans. Big thing is I want to set myself up where I leave nothing on the table. That's the grand plan. After that, I have no idea how to work on that. I don't know how to get there. I'm gonna have to have a talk with my coaches, and I'm also gonna have to have a talk with myself, and see where I go, because throughout the season, we change as people, right? Like, I'm a completely different athlete in May than I am in August, and then I am in December. So I have to be very critical in how I approach everything, and I'm old enough for it. I'm not 18 years old, 19 years old. I'm 30 this year, so so I trust myself in doing that.
Yeah, it's great that you continue, and that you because that we don't have athletes that have a long career and not only teenagers in the sport.
Yeah.
We have a few other examples too.
Yeah.
It's really great to see, and good for the sport.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Like the older athletes are in the sport and doing well?
I feel like, how do I put this? Like, look, I have a lot of love for this sport, and I wish that I could be an example of you can last longer in this sport. I just feel like sometimes right now, right when people, look, I'm nowhere near the top. I'm nowhere near that superstar level skater, but I feel like where our sport is at, right when somebody reaches there and they're winning everything, they're amazing. At a certain point, there isn't that longevity for a broader audience to get attached to them. Right? For example, it's like Steph Curry, LeBron James, right? They started getting LeBron, okay, let's say LeBron. He started being a menace probably 10, 15 years ago, right? And then he had 10, 15 years to continue building on that. And then more and more people not only latch on to his ability, but his longevity, right? And there's something to that as not just an athlete, but as a figure. And I kind of want to show people that, yeah, you're able to do this for a longer period of time, and somebody much better than me can have a much more successful career and have that following if they continue on.
Thank you. Very interesting talk with you,
Yeah.
and we wish you the very best for things to come.
Thank you so much,
See you
Tatjana.
again soon.
Yes. See you soon. Thank you.